I'm Ellen Mary.
And I'm Michael Perry.
And he's a plant geek.
And she's a plant addict.
And this is the Plant-Based Podcast.
This is more than just a gardening podcast. We'll be exploring the world of plants from every possible angle. We'll be talking about plant-based diets, plant materials and fabrics, the well-being qualities of plants, and giving plenty of gardening tips and tricks.
So we'll be chatting worldwide to companies and individuals that are being creative with plants in new and exciting ways. From fabulous flower crowns to foliage-filled lounges.
Botanical moisturisers to bamboo clothing.
It's all here.
And it's all made of plants.
Sutton's, suppliers of gardening products since 1806, sponsor the Plant-Based Podcast. Visit them online at suttons.co.uk.
So we are now in the floral marquee at Chelsea, having a good giggle.
Just crossed his arms, getting really serious.
We're with Medwyn Williams here and his absolutely stunning display of fruit and vegetables. And Medwyn does look serious. You look like you mean business today, Medwyn.
It's one of those days, isn't it? You've got to be in business when you're in Chelsea. People don't realise that this is the Olympic Games of the horticultural world.
That's right. It's true.
You know? We're trying for gold here. This is the highest level they could go.
Right.
And I've been lucky enough to get 11 golds previously. But there's been a 9-year absence since I was here last.
Really? 9 years?
Yeah.
So what made you decide to come back this year?
I came back because it was so expensive, as you know, to stay in London for a team of 5 of us. And CANNA, the nutrient company, stepped in and gave me a good sponsor.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very pleased that's happened. And we're going to... The idea is, to be honest, to work more and more with soilless compost, using CANNA cocoa and stuff like that.
Okay.
But we are finding it difficult to grow 5-foot parsnips and stuff like that in it at the moment.
So CANNA, they supply feed, so plant food, and the substrate is a coconut core, isn't it?
That's
Is that right? So you've actually been growing these award-winning vegetables in that?
In CANNA.
In CANNA?
Not all of them at the moment.
Yeah.
We're working our way in. We've got a 3-year contract with CANNA.
Yeah.
And hopefully, in time, most of the stuff on it will be grown in cocoa fibre.
Right, okay.
It's a different technique. Don't forget, I'm from the old generation.
You're from the old
I'm a soil
generation. I
man.
don't believe you.
Yeah, well, you better add. Of course I am.
But I'm really intrigued, like, how do you grow all of this stuff? And how do you grow it all in such great condition as well? And also, some of this stuff is out of season a little bit too. How do you create this?
Well, you know, Martin Luther King had a dream. I had a dream as well. I'm showing August, September quality vegetables in May.
Yeah.
Well, to do that, of course, you need greenhouse, you need heat, and you need lights, artificial lighting. And that's how we managed to do it. We haven't grown everything. We've grown 80% of everything on this stand is grown by ourselves. And things like the okra, I had a good friend of mine who grows that horrible stuff that people smoke. And they've got a much warmer atmosphere to grow them.
Yeah?
So,
maybe in Wales.
Yeah, I am maybe in Wales. So I was given the plant 6 weeks ago, but everything else, more or less, is all mine.
So just to describe this to listeners, we're standing by Medwyn's stand here, and it's different levels full of fruit and vegetables. We're talking the most perfect carrots and parsnips, tomatoes of many different varieties, aubergines, cauliflowers, is that celery? Oh, turnips over there, kohlrabi up the top there, potatoes, cauliflowers, radishes, asparagus, everything that if you have an allotment or a kitchen garden you wish you could grow as perfectly as this.
And displayed in very interesting ways as well. You've got complete spheres of tomatoes. You've got some cylinders, some pyramids of tomatoes as well.
Yep. We've got a rugby ball.
Yeah, I see.
Made out of tomatoes to celebrate Wales at the World Cup in Japan in September, which we're going to win, of course.
Oh, good.
You know, big Welsh with the leeks up there, the emblem of Wales, taking the big space.
Oh yeah, the leeks have taken like the main position at the top of the stand, and they are absolutely blooming huge.
But how do you keep this in good condition, though? Do you have to spray it, or
No, well,
or do you replace things from time to time?
No, I
or-
hope
no.
not.
Okay.
Some of the stuff, if you spray them, because of the warm climate, they might start rotting. Cucumbers, courgettes particularly. But we find that nature has its own uncanny way of keeping fresh if you pull them fresh.
Okay.
And if you treated them right in the beginning. We wash them well, we box them. But the big dragon over there, you see on there, that's the Welsh dragon that's made out of red peppers
yeah.
and sweet
cool.
potato. But that's there
cool.
for a reason, because we're launching a tomato. It's the first vegetable ever to be registered with DEFRA in the Welsh language.
Yeah. How do you say that?
well done.
A ddraig goch.
Draig
It's the red
goch.
dragon
Ddraig
in
goch.
English. A ddraig goch. Say it again.
Draig goch.
Not bad. A ddraig goch.
Okay. Drago.
You know,
Yeah.
ddraig. A ddraig.
I'm giving up.
Draig goch.
Right.
Medwyn, I'm really fascinated to find out how this all started for you. Like, have you
Well, it
always
started many, many years ago when I was about 8 years old.
Okay.
My father was just a farm worker, and the farm workers' holidays started on Good Friday. That's the only bank holiday they had. So he used to swear like hell if it was raining, because he wanted to go out in the garden, dig the garden,
I
plant,
know that feeling well.
plant his new potatoes. But he was very wise. He gave me a square yard of his garden. He raked it over and he gave me 3 packets of seed. Radish, mustard and cress. And he was very wise, because within a matter of days, these green things came out to the ground. And I was fascinated. And within 4 weeks, I invited my friend over. I cut the bread like gravestones, put lashings of farm butter, radish, mustard and cress, and further lashings of salad cream on it.
Wow.
And I was hooked from that day on.
Right.
And my father did a little bit of exhibiting at the local shows, and I used to go with him. And, you know...
And that's where it all began.
Yeah, going into a marquee and the smell of mown grass and flowers and things stuck in your nostrils, and it's in my head, you know. I was hooked from that day on.
You know, the amount of people who we speak to on the podcast who say that their love of plants or gardening or growing their own or any aspect of, you know, nature has always started when they were young.
It's,
Always.
you know what? Me and my son now are working with primary schools on the Isle of Anglesey. We've got 7 schools currently that we're nurturing along. And I go around them now and then to see how they're getting on. But the idea is that we have a big county show in August, the Anglesey County Show. They've all been given 7 barrels, and they're all going to put their produce on the barrow and bring them to the horticultural tent. And I'm going to judge
And you're going
them.
to judge them.
And kids like to win. They like passion. You've got to get people. You've got to make it fun.
And competitive as well. It's
Yeah, you
quite good,
you
isn't
need
it?
a competition. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
there are winners and losers in life, and it's got to happen. That's the way it is.
Well, we hope that you are a winner at Chelsea this year. So you'll get your award tomorrow, I think, is it?
Yes,
tomorrow morning?
The RHS have got a lovely, lovely way of doing it. They come out in the middle of the night when the place is empty.
It's like having a Christmas stocking, isn't it?
Exactly, just like Christmas. And they
Feel that
place the
bulge in
cars.
your bed?
Thank you so much, Medwyn. We wish you all the very best for your award tomorrow. Absolutely love it. This is really genuinely made me want to go down my allotment straight away.
It's a lovely display, and if you are visiting the show, it's not just any vegetables as well. There's lots of lovely new varieties in there as well,
There are, yeah.
including that one that we can't pronounce in Welsh. Just finish the podcast interview with that lovely pronunciation of the new variety.
I know, after that, I'll say the village I live in as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the tomato is a ddraig goch,
Yeah?
and I live in Llanfair, Pwllgwyngyll, Goger, Chwydrobwyll, San Deseilio, Goch. That's the longest village name in the world.
Wow.
That's a name
Wow.
that was fictitious because it was invented by a Welsh tailor
Yeah.
in the 1600s to confuse the English tourists. And he did a damn good job of it, I thought.
How many letters?
Can't remember. I haven't counted them. There's a big railway platform ticket you can buy.
I'm going to look that up. It's
Seriously, that's like
every letter of the alphabet.
the longest
I would-
village name for the longest parsnip seen here at Chelsea.
You know how many letters in the Llanfair PG name?
Okay, I think we can categorically say that it's a lot of letters. Thank you very much, Medwyn.
Thank
you. Say that again. I've just pressed record.
I like your friends.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm just trying to fill in chat. You know what I'm like.
So, okay,
That was the intro, Peter, wasn't it?
by the way, this is Peter Skeggs-Gooch from Thorncroft Clematis, and we're huddling at the moment, aren't we, by your stand, Peter?
Got to keep it.
We're keeping close.
But we're huddling for a reason, aren't we? Because we're here at Chelsea Flower Show on press day, but we keep seeing people we know. And so people keep stopping us, and we're desperately trying to start this interview. But there's just, everyone's like, Ellen, Peter, da, da, da. So we're actually trying to disguise ourselves.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to rephrase what you just said. People aren't going, Ellen, Peter. People are going, Michael.
Get out.
Anyway, Peter.
We're feeling the love.
Your stand looks stunning, as always. I love Clematis and I love everything that you do. So just tell us a little bit, first of all, about Thorncroft Clematis.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's really kind of you to say so. We've put a lot of love into this exhibit this year. I mean, every year you put your heart and soul into what you do, but this particular year, the exhibit is telling a story, a 30-year story of our history in retail and selling
That's nice.
Clematis. So, it's all little bits and pieces of objects and structures we've used at previous flower shows, not just Chelsea. Some of them even predate that. So, arch that we've got here from 1990 and some signs from back in the 1989 at the Royal Norfolk Show.
Oh,
our very
super cool.
first signs.
Of course, because you are Norfolk based, aren't you?
Yeah.
Home turf.
Yeah, I feel right at home here, I do.
Right at home.
I feel right at home.
You do the accent a little bit too well, Ellen.
Anyway, that's amazing. So tell us about some of the clematis that you've got here as well. Shall we we're going to walk around the stand, but we need to keep our backs to everybody so we don't get disturbed.
And also apologies for any noisy catering truck that goes past every now and then. They're all building up the hospitality for the gala events that we're not invited to. So.
Charming, isn't it? Anyone from Chelsea listening to this, we're not bitter.
Here's a clematis appropriate. So this is something Michael's familiar with, clematis tiger here.
Yes, I have this tattooed on my arm.
Yeah, so this was, it's looking stunning, isn't it? So pleased to have it here again.
Can you describe that to listeners? How would you describe that? Because it's so unusual, it's unlike any other clematis out there.
Well, if you picture a passion flower, I think, is probably the best way to describe it. You have the large outer tepals. Here, this is a nice sort of mid-sky blue. And then the central sort of spiky centre, we often refer to it as like a firework. It is almost exploded. It's deep, rich purple with green and cream tips to it.
It's almost like someone was let loose with a highlighter pen, like some child has coloured it all in.
I love a highlighter.
It's an amazing plant, and also easy to grow as well because it's a cyboldia, which is one of the easiest pruning groups as well.
It is. That's absolutely right. So very straightforward. When you come to pruning in, let's say February or early March, all you've got to do is cut each of the stems on the plant down to around 30 to 45 centimetres from the soil. You rip all the dead stems from above out of the support and let it go again.
And there's also another lovely crystal double at the bottom there, and that's a stunning variety, isn't it?
I love that. My eye caught onto that as soon as I walked round your stand. It's really lovely.
She's popular. The Crystal Fountain is one that features here annually because as it caught your eye, it catches everyone's eye. Flower size, my goodness, it's the size of
huge.
An open hand, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's whopping great flower. You've also got great flower low down. And that's really useful for us when we're building the exhibit because you've got to hide all the other pots. So Crystal Fountain, with all that leaf and all that bloom, hides all of the sin behind
building
it.
a Chelsea display is a lot of smoke and mirrors, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. There's no such thing as reality at Chelsea. Sorry, folks.
This all looks real to me.
We do our best to try and give you something that is achievable in the garden and wherever possible.
Okay, hold on a minute. Sorry, we're about to get a load of noise right now. Look, here comes the Caterers Trolleys. So if you think that Chelsea is all very beautiful and calm and peaceful and you're just looking at flowers, you're not. There's people everywhere and there's trolleys everywhere, and
event, but
sometimes there's music and,
they're
you
actually
know.
trying to take it a bit slower, look.
I think they are. Thank you. They're genuinely trying to move it slowly so it's less noisy. That's brilliant.
Here today, there's so much going on. Obviously, TV filming, radio filming, podcasts,
Yeah,
photography.
yeah.
This is a press day after all.
Yeah, that's right. And Chelsea it's horticultural based, but it is a lot going on here. This is, well, you'd say perhaps horticulture's premier flower show. And this is an opportunity for people to not just show off the flowers that they have, but also to entertain guests and bring dignitaries, perhaps very, very good customers to see their stand and to enjoy some hospitality.
Peter, there's another one that's caught my eye over here. Tell us about this one.
Well, she's caught your eye because she's Clematis Meghan. And
Very royal.
She is front and centre on our display because Clematis Meghan is new for this year. Well, it was very first introduced last year in a very small way, but now we're delighted to actually hold the official launch for Clematis Meghan here at Chelsea Flower Show. And she's a lovely, how would you describe that?
A really rich maroon. A maroony burgundy. Yeah, it is actually the colour of red wine. A nice, fresh, light red wine.
That's the thing, and it matures slightly as it ages, but you also have a lovely sort of satin sheen to the surface of the petals, which adds to the beauty. And yes, she's a very nice little clematis. And I say little because although it's a natural climbing clematis, she'll only grow to about 4 to 5 feet.
Right,
so
okay.
a relatively compact plant and good for small spaces, small gardens, or even in a patio pot.
I have to say, in this display here, you are really proving that there is a big range of urban clematis, because you've also got the bijou, which is super short. This is very unlike a clematis. It's almost being used as ground cover rather than climbing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. And I'm so pleased you spotted that, actually, because here, bijou in this particular part of the installation is being shown as if it was being prepared to go to a flower show. So it's still on its canes, it's still in its pots. But that is part of the story we're telling. But it is, you've identified it brilliantly. It is a great natural, it would just be a ground cover plant if you didn't support it.
I see another prop there from your history. There's a keyboard.
Yes, so
Our first keyboard.
it is. It's well, when we very first had a computer, my parents bought a computer to write Mum's first book.
Okay.
So it was actually published in 1996, but their first computer ran Windows 3.11, so an ancient version of Windows.
1994. I remember it. Oh, here we go. Here comes another catering trolley. Good. Hey, you know what? It shows we're not the BBC, because they'd never do that if we were the BBC, would they?
There'd be streams of people here with red tape and high-vis jackets.
Let's move round a little bit.
To, some of the final varieties we're going to look at here today, and this is one of my personal favourites, not because it's showy, or you certainly wouldn't even notice it on here, because it's quite a classy, sublime variety, but this is one of the first large-flowered, fragrant clematises, isn't it? I've been tracking the progress of this variety for many years.
Yes, it is. It is. You've got it on the head.
I'm going to hop over the rope.
Do.
Oh, you rebel.
This is sugar sweet blue, and she is
Very
a lovely
delicate.
variety.
A lovely,
It is.
delicate flower.
So it's
Fragrance is amazing.
It's a sort of, and now this is so interesting. I want to hear how you describe the fragrance, because we've had lots of people coming to the stand, having a little go. What's it smell like? Is it grapefruit? Is it sweet jasmine? Yeah,
It's like an air freshener.
It's sorry,
Like an air freshener, yeah. In a good way.
so sugar sweet blue, one of the
Like violet.
violets.
Ellen, hop over the
As
rope.
in violet, as in the flower violet, or like Parma violets.
Ah, well, you have a go. I'm holding your hand while you dive up there. And we'll see. What's your take?
Oh, that's delightful.
It's like violets, Parma violet.
You know, I really do think
get my
that that's
sniffing
like
sound
Parma
effects.
violets. Do it again. Sniff. I think it smells a bit like Parma violets.
Well, there, we can add that to our little... And I think what we need to do
I
is
think it
we
really
need to
does.
put together a little list of people's descriptions and
Yeah.
see which one wins out, because it's tricky.
It's very fragrant. It's beautiful.
Now, we're actually, because we're inside the floral marquee, or the Grand Pavilion as they call it at Chelsea, there's no direct sunlight on it, so it's not as strong as it would be in the garden.
Yeah.
So I'm stood now about a metre and a little bit more than a metre away from it. You'd normally smell it from here.
Okay.
It's gorgeous.
So, yeah, and it's lovely. So it gives flower early, about April, May, and yes, the flowers about 3.5 to 4 inches across.
Wonderful.
Fairly good size for a fragrance clematis.
Yeah, where does the fragrance come from? Which species is that bringing it from, though?
Okay, so it is 2 generations descended from a species called Cadmia. And Cadmia is native to China. So this particular plant, selected by a friend of ours in Holland called Tom Hanning.
Okay.
And Tom has selected this along with 2 or 3 others, which are particularly good attributes. And we're going to look forward to seeing what he does with those.
Definitely.
And to me, what is so exciting here is that Sugar Sweet Blue, it flowers at the same time as a lot of our very sort of classic large flower clematis. We're looking at Dazzle here. At
Look,
least.
like it's bigger than my hand.
It is. And the great thing here is that we're going to be able to cross-pollinate Cadmia, Sugar Sweet Blue with some of our large flowered ones.
So eventually we'll have the garden clematis with the large flowers, the traditional ones everybody knows and loves, but with that fragrance too. Yeah, but added to that, you need to then have them dressed top to the bottom as well. And there are some varieties out there that do that, such as the Success range that came through from France as well, because a lot of clematis have the bare bottom, don't they? So, if you will.
Woo!
So that could be the ultimate clematis, couldn't it? Flowers top to bottom and a fragrance.
Indeed. And that, at the end of the day, that's what we want. All over coverage, a nice fragrance to go for our clematis as well would be a huge break for the genus.
Thank you so much. It's so interesting. I love clematis. Just you can, you know, for all times of year, really. There's a clematis, isn't there?
There is.
I have to
indeed.
ask you a question. Is it clematis or clematis? I hear the two.
Well, you see in Scotland the clematis.
Clematis.
And my grandfather would say, it doesn't matter. It'll still cost you the same.
We like that. Thank you so much. Where can listeners find you online?
So yeah, online, thorncroftclematis.co.uk,
Nice.
Twitter @thorncroftclems,
Yeah.
same with Instagram
Yeah.
@thorncroftclems, and Facebook.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.
And you, it's great to see you.
And you.
So this is one of my favourite stands, I have to say, at Chelsea, because it is all about weird and wacky plants. We are on Hampshire Carnivorous plant stand, and I have to say this is one of the best picture plant displays that I've ever seen. It is absolutely amazing. It's like a fairy tale.
It is.
And we're here with Matt Soper, and we're going to find out a lot more about how easy this was to put together and how he feels about it, and if he's hoping for gold as well.
Right.
I hope you are hoping for gold.
I am hoping for gold. Fingers crossed that it's. This is our 21st year at the show,
Wow.
and I feel this is the best display we've put on. So I'm really, really proud and really pleased with it. And what we're displaying here are North American pitcher plants, and they come from as far north as Nova Scotia in Canada. They grow right the way down the eastern seaboard, down to parts of North Florida, across through Alabama and into Mississippi.
Wow.
And they're exceptionally hardy, actually. They can be grown outside in this country as long as they're in a peat bog garden. Like to be grown in very acid, peaty, wet soil with full sun.
Right, okay.
They produce these unusual leaves, which are the pitchers. These are the bits that catch the flies, spring and summer. And in the winter months, they die down and go to sleep, like hostas.
Okay. So I've grown some of these before at home, and it didn't work out so well for me because I didn't know that information you've just told us. And when they died back over wintertime, it never reappeared. So what did I do wrong?
When they die back over winter, so that's when most of them get thrown away. And if you, from the start, when they're for sale in garden centres, you'll normally find them next to the orchids in a garden centre. Really, they should be in the covered area just outside. They are very hardy. If it died and didn't come back, I would say it probably dried out over the winter. If they dry, they will die.
Right.
So you've got to keep them at least damp in the winter and actually standing in water spring and summer. And they must be cold in the winter. Indoors, they won't go to sleep properly. They'll last about 2 years, then they die. So indoors, spring and summer, if you want to grow them indoors, and pop them out into an unheated greenhouse or an unheated conservatory for the winter months, then bring them back in the end of February and up they pop again.
That's amazing, because you actually do look at them and you would assume that they are not hardy, you know, in this country, wouldn't you? Just by looking at them, which is crazy, really, isn't it? That's not about that, is it?
It's so true. So many, because they look so exotic and tropical, people think, oh, I better keep them in the warm,
Yeah.
and that's what they don't need. I mean, when you look at them, they look like they're from, you know, the Far East or something, but
Yeah.
they're not. They're from the
And they
States.
also flower, don't they? You've got some flowers over here, and the flowers are really pretty.
Daffodil, to my eyes.
They are just like a daffodil. Yep, the flowers come up first on most varieties. This one is a bit different. It flowers at the same time as it pitches. All the others have flowered already, and we've removed the flowers, so you just see the leaves or pitches. But as you say, yeah, they're like a green daffodil. See, yeah.
And
really
they look
unexpected,
lovely.
aren't they?
Unexpected, very beautiful. So this is quite some display. I mean, what goes into putting a stand like this together for Chelsea? A lot of hard
Everyone's
work.
different. Yeah, all the exhibitors are different. With our display, it's literally growing hundreds of plants and picking the best of the best out on Friday afternoon before we came up
Wow.
here. So we grow a lot. But one thing that is very interesting, all the foliage you can see on this display has been produced in the last 5 weeks. So they've gone from nothing up to this in 5 weeks.
Like some of the ones at the back are so tall. I mean, I know they're raised up, but they're so tall.
Yeah, and they're so fresh as well. They've literally just opened in the last week.
I love that you've got the maidenhair ferns as well, dotted all throughout. I mean, that just really
They
brings
really lift it.
everything
Yeah.
together, doesn't
Pretending
it?
they're easy to grow, right?
They're
not.
They are not.
They're not.
I
no.
want to ask you about the popularity of insect-eating plants, though, because it's really at a peak right now, isn't it? What changes have you seen in the last so and so years?
Oh, well, I've been, like I said, been coming here 21 years. And you're absolutely right, Mark. They're really popular at the
Because
moment.
it used to be did you used to feel like it was a bit of a weird display that people didn't really gravitate towards?
I
Perhaps?
used to be next to herbaceous perennial growers. I'd sit there, not selling a thing. Now
Really?
we're almost as popular as they are.
People are all over you.
Youngsters are growing them. Older people are growing them. They're hardy. You can grow them outside in a bog garden. We're doing a trial for the RHS on the nursery, growing them outside for the last 4 years.
Okay, wow.
And they're doing really, really well. I think they were considered to be a bit quirky and hard to grow and hothouse plants, but now they're becoming a lot more readily available. They're a lot more different. Look at the colour range we've got now.
Yeah,
They're actually quite
stunning.
pretty.
They are really
And do you
pretty.
think that's because there's more information available and people can share their experiences online and on social media, so they're no longer this mythical plant that we imagined we couldn't grow?
Exactly. And I mean, you've hit the nail on the head. If you go back 7 years, there was only about 4 or 5 books on carnivorous plants. Now, with social media and the internet, you can find everything you want to know about them. They're very, very popular on social media as well.
And you're
A lot
great
of
on
young-
social media
Oh,
too.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
are. I love seeing your pictures on social
Thank you.
media.
And you are. We follow you. Yeah.
Well, we know it's important.
Yeah, it is.
It
It
is
works really well.
important. You know, without that interaction on social media, people wouldn't appreciate how amazing these plants
No.
are, would they?
No,
That's what it's all about.
And then on social media, people, as I'm sure you're aware, people share how they do with their plants.
Yeah.
Different forums and websites, and everyone likes to show each other how they're doing with their plants and
Yeah.
ask if they're doing something wrong or what the
Definitely.
disease is, and it's much better than it
I
used
think
to be.
social media has been the great lubricant for the horticulture industry,
Without a
personally.
doubt.
Definitely.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks so
Well,
much.
thanks for coming.
Thank you.
No worries.
Are you enjoying that?
Chelsea Flower Show. After show meal.
Pims and lemonade.
On
Did
the
they
banks. Oh,
Did they
awkward.
Awkward moment. Did they have Pims and lemonade at Chelsea?
I don't know.
I don't think that's
I'm too-
like upper class enough.
I'm too focused when I'm in Chelsea Flower Show. I'm not sat there just to drink my way around the place.
You're
you know.
pulled around, aren't you? A lot, actually. When we
No.
walk around, you know, everyone's like, oh, Michael, Michael, can I get a picture?
I've been Rihanna of the horticultural world. But we're here now, Battersea, Riverside, hanging out. I had a non-vegan meal. Ellen had a vegan meal. But let's talk about our Chelsea journey this year. It actually began yesterday afternoon when we were panicked in our messaging as we just didn't know what to wear.
You know what? It's ridiculous because on any other normal day or even event or even going somewhere to, I don't know, a wedding or something, I'm pretty cool about what I wear. It doesn't take me that long.
Hoodie.
Hoodie.
Yeah.
I'm just not that worried about it. But yesterday I was like, well, what am I going to wear?
Just because I was worried about it.
Well, you made me worried because you were concerned about it. Then it got me thinking, well, what am I going to wear?
Well, I ordered £500 of suits from ASOS, hon.
And then what happened?
I tried them on.
And then what happened?
On an Insta Live.
So the people chose what you were going to wear. It's a very good idea.
Well, not quite. I got my own mind.
But you were. Did you get like your chest out on your Insta Live when you were getting changed?
No, because I had the shirt on already. So I was trying everything in my shirt, but they saw my knickknacks.
You see, that I was just thinking I wouldn't be able to do that.
Really? Oh,
no, I'd just be in my bra and knickers.
And you wear more.
I just spat.
You wear more flimsy clothing, you birds.
Yeah, it was a difficult decision to make, to be honest, but I went with comfort in the end.
You did. Bright colours.
Bright, smart
I wore
comfort.
the tweed.
You did.
Yeah, but it was nice doing the Insta Live and getting people's input and stuff, but it was embarrassing because nothing fitted. Honestly.
Well, you have definitely picked the right outfit. You look super dapper.
Oh, thank you so much.
How are your flies?
Oh, again, not fitting. The clasp broke in the toilet this morning. It's like, what are you doing to me? Honestly, and now I'm just hanging off one button. Like, walked around all day. Imagine that it was going to ping off at a moment's notice. Plus, it's tweed, so it's really itchy as hell. So I can't wait to get home and get changed. In fact, I might go to Primark and buy shorts and a t-shirt.
Just to go home in. Anyway, that's our journey to Chelsea. You got there a little bit before me this morning, didn't you?
I did.
An hour or so after you.
Early bird catches the designer.
And I think the first thing you done was went in to see the Plant of the Year Awards, the presentations.
I did, yeah, because there was that big winner, which we've covered in our episode here today. And it's a changer. It's a game changer. Because you couldn't imagine that sort of plant winning this, like, say, 5-6 years ago. But times have changed. You know, not only are we looking at retro plants, but also climate change, more drought-tolerant plants are very, very important to us. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So what do you make of Chelsea overall? What do you think about it?
I don't know. Do you know what? I've got to be honest here. I prefer watching it on the TV.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm totally with you. I think because on press day, especially, we are working. It's not just a
But what's working mean, Ellen?
Plant-based podcast. We've done loads of podcasting, didn't we? Photographs.
But what did someone say to us earlier?
Networking.
We were doing the interviews for Plant-Based Podcast and someone says, but what's your job? But what work do you do? Well, hi.
We're kind of doing it right now.
This is so bizarre, how people's perceptions
are. Sometimes people ask me that, what do you do? I used
so hard to answer.
I used to find it quite hard to answer, and now I just say, well, I promote gardening.
Yeah.
I promote gardening. So that could be any form. It could be writing about it, presenting, radio show, podcast.
I have a passion for plants and I'm inspiring others to have the same. That's almost...
Yeah, that's right. But today was lovely. It went by incredibly fast. I don't feel like I saw everything, especially not in detail, that is for sure. I would have liked to have spent some more time looking around the show gardens. I didn't get to do that so much.
Watch them on the telly though, babe.
Exactly. And that's where it comes into its own, really.
Yeah,
you get to see them better.
Well, yeah, because you then can listen to the explanation. You also can see on the garden as well, which
because sometimes you can't walk into the garden.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, the quality of displays is obviously second to none.
Absolutely.
The guys that we interviewed are, some of the big hitters at Chelsea as well. It's just great to see that. And I don't think you can really appreciate how much effort goes into that when you're just looking at that display.
Yeah, even by today, people are so tired and emotional.
They've still got 6 more days there.
Yeah.
Dealing with the public.
Yeah, talking to people. It's hard work, but there's a lot of passion, a lot of emotion, a lot of time, a lot of money that goes into these things. And I think at Chelsea it really stands out. I mean, it is exquisite. It is an exhibit, that's what it is, isn't it? You're there to look and be inspired by this just amazing amount of work that goes into it.
Did you have some celeb spots then, babe?
Yeah, so I spotted David Williams with his mum. Well, I assume it was his mum. It was his mum. And I spotted Piers Morgan, and I saw who is the Liverpudlian comedian whose name I don't know why I forgot it.
Lenny Henry.
Because I think he's ace. No, he's so brilliant, and I can't remember his name. It'll come to me in 1 second.
Lee Evans.
No.
John Cleese.
No, you're going to keep going there. There were loads of celebs there. Dame Judi Dench. I stood just a metre away from Dame Judi Dench. Amazing.
I saw that girl from the morning show, but I wasn't sure if it was her or not. Susanna.
Oh, yes, she was there. I saw Susanna Reid. Yeah.
Having a very vigorous phone call.
You're right. She was walking up and down on this phone call.
Yeah.
She looked beautiful. I thought she looked stunning.
She's such slimmer in real life.
She does look.
If you know what I mean, in the face.
Yes, but TV puts £10 on you apparently.
Yeah, it seems to be true. Yeah.
But she looked absolutely beautiful.
I'm fat in real life as well because my suits don't fit.
You can understand, I think, why there's a lot of pressure on celebrities to be slim. Actually,
really can.
In that case, yeah.
Because someone sees you there, or there's some paparazzi picture. It's like real pressure. Oh, Anthea Turner was in the what's it?
She looked amazing. I thought.
On the way to the she was in a white all-in-one.
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah. And her curly hair, lovely curly hair.
Ooh.
Yeah, I saw her and she looked beautiful.
Yeah.
So there were lots of celebs there.
Yeah.
I like a little bit of celeb spotting.
What was your standout plant though, darling? Sorry, I don't mean if you call you darling.
Darling.
I'm gonna get stick for that.
I really
Very
don't like. I
derogatory to call
don't
someone
like
darling.
being called darling
Yeah.
by anybody.
Okay.
Just know that.
Called you darling, then talked over you. Damn it. I'm gonna get sacked.
You so are.
Then I'll have to find a job.
Oh, there's a massive bee. Look. My standout. This is really difficult. So there are quite a few. I really loved because I'm all about obviously growing my own food.
Yeah.
For a plant-based diet. And I really loved right at the very, very end where we saw the really bright pink strawberry flowers. Red Swiss red.
Yeah.
Swiss red. They were beautiful. They were so vibrant.
So big as well.
Really loved those. I know that was one of the last things I saw, so it's probably in my mind still. I really liked the Clematis Meghan on Thorncroft Clematis stand. I really liked that because I loved the colour so much. Not that it was called Meghan, but the colour. There's many. There's just so many.
I was so excited about Sugar Sweet on that stand though.
Sweet,
that was amazing.
that was beautiful. Oh, the fragrance.
Definitely. That there was some really amazing plants all day. Some lovely Ito peonies.
The peonies.
Intersectional hybrids.
The peonies.
Yeah. They were ace. Primulas as well. I love Kevwick's garden stand.
Oh.
Mechanopsis, lovely purple Mechanopsis. Look at you looking up pictures.
I know. I saw
a cute picture of me on there.
I saw a really funky allium because I really love my alliums. Green drops.
Oh,
I thought that was really cool. I really liked green drops. There's loads.
You like the Sphera Safana?
Oh, there's a very big plane going over us right now. I liked what? Sorry.
Sphera Safana. The traffic light allium.
Traffic light allium. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Really, there's so much
Hyacinths,
inspiration.
did you?
I didn't see any hyacinths. Saw the daffodils.
Yeah, and the tulips as well.
What I really liked about the floral pavilion was the Caribbean kind of, the tropical planting. Did you see that?
And the music as well.
The music in the background was really ace, and there was loads of Proteus. There was some Strelitzias, like just that kind of like nice tropical feel on a few stands. I thought that was quite cool. That seemed different to previous years. Michael's scoffing away. What was your favourite show garden?
Do you know, I don't really see them much.
No, I didn't see them as much as I would like.
I watched them on TV tonight. It's really bad, isn't it? It's some Chelsea report, but didn't see anything. But it's so hard because you just see people you know all the time. And Chelsea Press Day is as much of a networking event as it is viewing the gardens. And you often can't get near to the gardens, as we've said, and kind of it's a very different experience to then watch it afterwards on TV. So, and to be honest, I spend most of my time in the plant market anyway because I'm an official plant geek. That's what it says on my passport.
You are, darling. So I really enjoyed the back to Nature Garden, and I know it's had a lot of press because obviously the Duchess helped to design that garden, but it's really close to what I do, promoting the wellbeing benefits of gardening. And actually, as you walked around towards it, you could smell it. You could smell all the woodiness and the oils from all the planting, and it was exceptional. It was clever, and so I really, really liked that. And I have to say this, but I do genuinely believe it. I really liked the Montessori Children's Garden.
Okay.
With the sunken greenhouse.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And I know it was the rhino greenhouse, and I'm going to shout about that because I love my rhino greenhouse. But yes, the use of space was so clever, and the planting was so vibrant. I loved it. I really liked that. So they're the two kind of standouts. I have to look
back on my pictures. There were some other patches of planting I really loved. There was, I don't know if it was even part of a show garden, but by the cloakroom area. Yeah. There's this really cool piece of border that had things, really nice purples like Cirsium, thistles, Aquilegias, some silvery bits. It was really...
that where the tractor was?
Yeah, I think just opposite.
That's
but that
boots.
Oh, was it?
Muck boots.
I thought it was just a random piece of border. But yeah, that was really nice. And there was some really cool, just kind of leafy, kind of floaty displays, which I like. I like the cottage garden style.
I like that too.
Probably the most, I would say, especially at Chelsea.
That's a really important point, actually, because it isn't just the show gardens or the exhibition stands. Yeah. There's also trade stands.
Yeah, they do a really good job.
What they do is amazing. Their planting is sometimes really very beautiful.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So it's all going on. Did you see the, I can't remember what the company was called now, but they had like big fountains. And as the water comes down the fountains, everything moves. So like the leaves move and they light up, as the sunlight catches them, and it was mesmerising.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
I wish I could have known.
Easy Grass there this year.
I didn't see Easy Grass.
No, I didn't. I've seen it on social media, so I have to watch TV tonight to see where it was. Yeah.
Considering that it's not, Chelsea Flower Show, the space isn't that big. It's still so easy to miss stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But it is inspirational. I find it is very slightly pretentious, if I'm honest.
Ooh,
I know.
In what way?
But it is. There's a lot of floating about, isn't there? There's a lot of floating about and all of that.
Floating about. It's a social event as much as anything else.
It is. But even having said that, it is extraordinarily inspirational, and it's not to be missed. I mean, everybody should go at some point if they can, definitely.
At least once in your life.
Yeah, and
it's a bucket list.
It is a bucket list, and also just massive respect to anybody who's built a show garden, designed, been involved in, trade stands, exhibitions, anything, because the work that goes into them is quite extraordinary.
Didn't you text me last night saying we should do a show garden?
I did, yeah. I think we should.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm up for it. I'm completely up for doing it.
Oh my god!
I think we could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You can probably hear Michael slurping his food. It's as bad as slurping his coffee.
Maybe there's vegetables inside me.
Actually, to be fair, Michael's just had a meat dish and I've had my plant-based dish, and he's gone in for a second plate of almost all plants. So I'm wondering if over time we might be able to convert him to a plant-based diet. Anyway.
A bit more work to do yet.
Yeah.
The Plant-Based Podcast is sponsored by Suttons, suppliers of gardeners' favourite products since 1806. Unsurprisingly, Suttons now have everything you need for your outside space. Award-winning flower and vegetable plants, garden furniture and equipment, plus gifts for gardeners. Visit them online at suttons.co.uk.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Plant-Based Podcast.
Have a browse of the rest of the library or hop on over to the website, which is theplantbasedpodcast.net.
You'll also find our social media links. Please connect with us and let us know about any plant-based projects that you think we should be covering on the show.
And make sure you subscribe to our podcast so you'll be the first to hear the next episode. We're releasing once a fortnight. So until next time, enjoy the world of plants.